Okay, good afternoon, or good morning still. Let's get up to date with our mermaid. If you recall from the last time, we had painted it with a pinkish hue, came out a little too pinkish. However, in the interim, I got the Titan buff and used that on the last session, and I wasn't crazy about it. However, Angela, my wife, who has become my foremost, not critic so much as second pair of eyes, she really enjoyed it. She really thought that this was the skin tone that we were looking for. So I've increased it a little bit more. I've covered it pretty much all the red, pink, whatever it was, with this almost alabaster kind of a tone. However, now it's covered up a lot of the hair tone that we had worked on, so which we had expected. So we're gonna have to go back and replace it essentially in pretty much the same way that we had applied it originally. I don't know if you can actually see this, but with hand painting, I have a yellow. Actually, I should even try that. I did get a yellow airbrush paint. However, I kind of want to keep this the same tone that I had it originally. So in order to do that, I'm going to use the same combination of paints essentially. And painting on the yellow and then putting the gold overlay over it. It gave us the effect that we wanted. The first time, so I'm going to keep with that. It's always the hardest part about, to go back and essentially do the spot over, because unless you're using very basic colors, you're basically trying to recreate the combination of colors that you used the first time to achieve your effect. Not always possible, but, and again, sometimes it takes you into a whole nother direction, but we're hoping not, because we spent a lot of time on this, obviously. So I gotta keep on moving this to really catch this detail. And the other problem I'm having with this whole thing is that I cannot get my 0.2 millimeter needle to work worth a damn. I thought it would work better with this new paint I have, because it's a more soluble paint. I don't need to cut it like I was cutting the other airbrush paints. However, doesn't seem to make one hell of a difference. I've always had a problem with that 2mm. For some reason, it's supposed to work, but it just doesn't. So I gotta play around with 3.5 and try to get that one to work. I get paid in a couple of days. I may just have to invest. Now that I've invested in all this, put all this money into these paints, I may have to just go ahead and invest. Like I'm sure I will have to this week. An upgraded airbrush gun. I mean, these things weren't cheap to begin with, but I don't know why I was doubting myself, because I always do, number one. But I was doubting my ability to master this thing, which I haven't yet, by no means. But I've done enough to warrant an upgrade. Maybe I should have just done originally, but these are the steps you have to take to perfect your craft, so to speak. I will be cautiously optimistic in saying that I think this is coming along very well. I wish I had more time, but I do have time this week with the slowdown of my full-time job, which is extremely full-time when it's in session, so. The problem is I've been so freaking exhausted. It's taken me a couple days to get up the energy to get off the couch and get into my little studio here. Didn't realize well, it took a while to get that correct skin tone going, so what happened is it tended to overlay over the gold a little too much in some spots, so but obviously around the most difficult and delicate spots too, such as her fingers and boy, her hair color just all but disappeared right here. It's gonna take a little while to bring it back. So after you're done with the hand painting, we're going to go to break. Literally, I hope, from the manhandling that this thing goes through when I'm trying to get all the intricate little details covered. Shouldn't have supposed to be upside down, obviously, but I'm not sure what they do in other art shows or art videos. Since I never watched them, I wouldn't know. But, and I don't know if anyone will watch this one, but if you do, you do. And if you don't, you don't. See, we got a little touch of tress right here. It's a bitch to paint it with the airbrush gun, obviously, but so you can see it when you turn it over. And the hair flows right underneath her arm, basically. So that's where that comes from. That's the problem here. This brush basically functions as an eraser. Like I said, this is not easy. I'll pretend it is. Well, easier depending. Easier if you're more patient, easier if you're more skilled. But I am what I am. So, we have to take a little time here. We want it to be right, and we want it to be perfect, because that's kind of what being anal is all about. Probably one thing you don't have in a professionally produced show is dead air. But I don't know how much it would help to tell you what I'm doing here. You can see what I'm doing. I'm trying to highlight the areas of her hair. So again, I'll just reiterate what I always say, and that is keep plugging away at it, and when you get the effect that you want, you will know it. You should know it. Like I said, I wasn't crazy about the skin color, but Angela, I was kind of mixed about it. But Angela was very, very pleased about it, and so now I've, as I cleaned up the rough areas around it that had been missed, then it started taking a little more shape, and now it looks pretty good. And we won't know exactly how it looks until we start putting features on our face. And patience. I'll talk about patience again because I have none. I'm notorious for it. So, if I can do this, then pretty much anyone can do this, because everyone's got to have more patience than me. If you don't, you got some serious problems. I think the thing that overrides my sense of impatience or desire to get things done fast, however you want to look at it, is my desire for it to be perfect. So, perfectionist nature in my art takes over and supersedes my impulsive, impetuous nature, which serves me well sometimes, but gets me in trouble a lot too. It gets me in stupid shit, I should say. Which is kind of like the same thing. Oh, that's your philosophy lesson for today. Holy shit, I'm doing almost your entire hair over again. This is a tricky area because you kind of gotta guess where her hair is. Because at the end it just ends. It just kind of like flattens out. As you would expect with her being wet in Mermaid. In situation, this is the area like I'm talking about where you pretty much just have to go with it and join the colors to make the flow of the hair seem more natural. I think we're near the end here. But remember, this is only the first stage of the hair repair job. After this, we got to do the overlay of gold on all these spots, which is why I wish my $2mm worked better, because it's needed for this. To the point where we may actually have to put off any more work on the hair and getting the hair back to where we want it. So after I can probably replace that damn at some point, you know, you start thinking, or I start thinking, I gotta finish this up too, because all this, because I am clumsy and I am impatient and I'm stupid sometimes, and I live in fear of breaking this damn thing before I finish it. Somewhere a large dog barked. All right. I think we've done it. Well, we brought her hair back to yellow. I'll have to gold, gild it up again. Try something real quick. tinges of not bad, not bad. You still see tinges of pink in those areas that you really just can't get to. I wasn't planning on doing this much. The whole idea of this exercise to get rid of this little smudge, but we'll see. Okay. So that's how she looks now. She's got a yellow back in her hair. Looks good. And we can actually probably even put in some more green and some more blue. Bring it out a little more if her skin's gonna stay white. We want to, or whitish. We want to accentuate the other colors around here. The dolphin, by the way, came out beautiful. Silver and black I used, but he really, he, she, whatever, it came out with a lot of nice, distinct look to it. So we're happy with that. So we'll take a break and we will be back. Adios.